must be wondering where I am, but I'm just under the flight path in Kew Gardens. And in case you don't know what Kew Gardens is a very, very old public garden which was originally owned by the government. It's now one of these government agencies, and the proper title is the Royal Botanical Gardens at Kew, and it's part funded by the government. And here we are looking at some of the plants at Kew Gardens. The reason why I'm here today, this is the 3rd of October 2022, is because I've been asked to give a talk about bonsai at Kew Gardens. And while I'm waiting to give the talk, I'm taking the chance to walk around the gardens, to have a look at the gardens, and to film some of the beautiful sights that you see at Kew. Public gardens always fascinate me because they're always beautiful, beautifully kept. And in these days of a lot of financial constraints and other constraints, they work on a very tight budget. And it's really a credit to them that they keep everything in such lovely condition. So top marks to them. And there's beautiful signage, you learn so much. So if you really want to learn about plants, this is the place to come to. You get so many wonderful ideas as how to make your gardens look nice, how to plant it. And of course, for rare plants, you can't beat this place. I'm just looking at this plant here. I've never seen this plant. I don't even know what it is. Look at the beautiful flower. Almost looks like a magnolia. I don't know whether this is the actual name. It might well be. Saruma henryi. Yes, it is. I was right. It belongs to the magnolia family because we are entering the magnolia area. So let's go in there to have a look. So the magnolias appeared 155 million years ago. How about that? And the flower that I just showed you does resemble a magnolia. So I was correct. No, that wasn't the name. The proper name I think I can see somewhere here. You can take screenshots and learn all about it from here. So 155 million years ago when they first appeared on the scenes. I don't know how they determine the age of the species, but I take it as read. I'm just walking to another very interesting plant. I can recognize that it has magnolia-shaped flowers. And look at that flower. Look at that flower for a magnolia. Kew is so different from Wisley because Wisley is really a public garden where there are beautiful plants, lots of lovely plants. But if you want to learn the scientific basis and background of a lot of the plants, then Kew is the place to come, because Kew is really a scientific based institution. So for people who want to learn about plants from the botanical point of view, there is no better place to come than this. So there is so much information. Really wonderful. So I suppose the delphinium's also part of the buttercup family. I don't know whether I'm saying the right thing or the wrong thing. So what you see is exactly how I'm seeing the view of Kew as I walk through the gardens. I'm not a botanical person. Roses, I don't know what this is. It's another genus of plants. "70,000 species of this family." Absolutely fascinating. Look at that lovely plant. That is euonymus, I'm sure, or the spindle tree. Oh, the scent of the roses as I passed by. And here's a plant that we also grow on our nursery. And this is the Lespedeza. Pity the labels are not very obvious. Kew is right underneath the flight path of the planes coming into land at Heathrow. So if you hear all this noise, you know that we are very near Heathrow Airport. That's another unusual plant. Look at the leaves. I don't even try and identify the plants or the names. And there are some rudimentary flowers as well. The more you look and more you study, the more you realize that there is such a vast array of different species of plants, and nature really is diverse. But when you hear about people talking about the species being becoming extinct. It would be a shame if we lost many of these species. And this is the cardoons. I grow them too. This is about the history of grouping plants and classifying things. So interesting. If you have the time to pause the video and read it, it really makes for interesting reading. All these famous names like Linnaeus. He's one of the most famous of the plant taxonomists, I think, Swedish botanist. And of course, there is Charles Darwin as well. And there's a very interesting sign here about Darwin. There was a great friendship between Charles Darwin and Hooker, Joseph Hooker. Hooker is a very famous plant collector. So here we are. Read all about it. I'll just scroll it down and you can read at your leisure. I won't read it, it's just wasting time, but if you pause the frame of this video, you can read all about it. It makes for such interesting reading. I'm lucky that I've come on a lovely afternoon. Nice and mild. In fact, warm. I think the temperature is 19 degrees. It's a sunny afternoon. Yesterday we had a lot of rain. Look at that beautiful pergola at the top. Such a beautiful sight. Golden rain tree, Coulteria. Good grief, I didn't realize it had seeds like that. So I'm continuing my walk around Kew Gardens, and this is one of the greenhouses. That looks like an interesting maple of some kind. Let's see what it is. The tips of the leaves are just starting to turn red, and we will see. Oh, it was this maple, Acer rubrum, dedicated to Diana, Princess of Wales. Good grief. very special tree. There are some very ancient trees at Kew. I know that the first ever wisteria to be imported into Europe is at Kew Gardens. It's well over 200 years old, maybe 260 years old. So that's a famous tree. I haven't seen it yet, but I hope to find it. This is a cedar tree. Looks like a Atlantic cedar or oh, I was right. So I do know my plants. Cedrus atlantica. That's a huge red oak. My goodness me. Never seen a red oak this size. Look at the shape of the tree. I have one of these which are about 30 years old at Herons, but the trunk is only like 6 inches in diameter. Let's see whether they give any clue as to how old this tree is. Red oak, Quercus rubra. 1969 only? Surely not. That tree looks like 300 years old to me.